so silly.
The first time I stayed home alone, I finished my chores right away so that I might have some time to play. I listened to music, read a book, stood on the table. Talking to myself couldn't keep me down because I was so capable. To my chagrin, Applejack early returned, transformed into a psycho-crazed maniac. I'd run away and prove I don't take flack. Hello, every pony. Corpulent Brony here. As I continue my Season 4 episode analysis in reverse, I arrive at yet another Apple Family episode, Somepony to Watch Over Me. There sure were a lot of Apple Family episodes this season. I'll begin our journey today by looking at what is perhaps one of the most controversial issues in this episode, to wit, the moral. Like all foals, Apple Bloom wants to prove she can be independent. For some reason not explained thoroughly in this episode, Applejack decides Apple Bloom is incapable of staying home on her own, and she becomes overprotective of her little sister. Ironically, this treatment then drives Apple Bloom to seek other means by which she can prove she is capable of being independent. And thus, the apathym many analysts and reviewers extracted from this convoluted mess that it's okay to run away from home if you don't get your way. Obviously, the writers aren't trying to propagate such a dangerous lesson. So perhaps it is aimed at the parents, showing the consequences of being unduly protective. In any event, a show aimed at foals is probably not the best method to communicate such a message. So let's return to the moral. I think most ponies today have lost the perspective of what is normal in the development of our young. I don't think there's a single pony listening right now who never wanted to run away from home, especially when their parents were being stupid, overbearing, brutish, or perhaps even downright abusive. Some of you may have acted on those desires, and an even smaller number may have had some horrible experiences as a result. But I am sure the majority learned something on that journey, even if they never got farther than packing a suitcase. This desire to run away is completely normal. Parents should be raising their foals to one day leave the barn, and foals will naturally develop a yearning for independence. Too often in modern times, parents try to stifle that urge as soon as it arises, I believe to the potential detriment of all. The advent of helicopter parenting has resulted in a crop of yearlings that expect to have some pony watching over them constantly, providing protection from the big bad world lurking outside our windows. A generation is being brought up which will warmly welcome the cold eye of Big Brother, either in government or corporate form, because it is all they have ever known. Is it any wonder the NSA scandal hasn't received more of an uproar? Examples of foals running away abound in literature and television, from Mark Twain's exceptional Adventures of Tom Sawhorse to Peter Pan, from Leave It to Beaver to Wonder Yearlings. This issue has been examined thoroughly. In fact, most television shows that aired before the 1990s, which featured a yearling in a leading role, would eventually have an episode where he ran away. In other words, this was a common occurrence. Now, obviously, running away is seldom a good idea, except maybe in those cases where there's a threat to your physical well-being and all other options have failed. So a cartoon aimed at foals probably shouldn't endorse it. But I don't think this episode does endorse it. Apple Bloom gets into some serious shit as a consequence of her actions. So much so that she likely would have been eaten alive had Applejack not shown up in the nick of time, gussied up in her sexy boots to save the day. So I've established this is a normal theme explored throughout time in media aimed at foals. Furthermore, I fail to see how this episode could have handled the issue any better. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Now let's shift focus to them ponies. On to my other observations. I love the design of these pie wagons. Not only is it very evocative of the Old West, but they also remind me of the dentist wagon from Django Unchained. I always love the obscure culture references the MLP show writers work into these episodes. Sometimes I am slow, and I didn't get the whole hats and bows closet thing the first time through, but this is a hilarious self-referential gag. So AJ shirks her responsibility to the family business because family is more important than the family business. Even though her lapse in responsibility may cost the family. This just doesn't compute. On the farm, family and business are intertwined, and the two are seldom differentiable. We've lost sight of that in modern culture, though, and apparently so did the writers. One of the funniest moments of this episode is when AJ puts a helmet over the existing one on Apple Bloom's cute little head, thus encapsulating the absurdity of the lengths to which AJ is going. I rafflecoptered for a while after this. AJ didn't want Apple Bloom to accidentally fall out of her bedroom window, so she strategically places haystacks right below the window, thus facilitating Apple Bloom's escape. I guess we can call that a fail. Yes, I agree, the Chimera is a bit of a silly villain, almost James Bondish in its attempts to explain every little thing it plans to do. What monster in
the wide world of Equestria
would do such a thing? But this behavior kept it from being as scary as it looked, and provided AJ some much needed time to hurry her boot-encased plot onto the scene to save the day. You know, in a song, Lyra once asked,
"Can you push a cart?"
I think Apple Bloom just answered the question. "Aw, quesadilla mon ami. Ho-ho, down here in the bayou we finally got us some swamp pones. Woo! Look at the size of that there alligator. Go cook us up some gumbo and finish it off with these here sweet apple pie. Très bien. Au revoir. Tu le poney, là c'est le bon temps-là. Oh, if you happen upon Twilight Sparkle, ask her for me. Voulez-vous coucher avec Corpulent Brony? Merci. Yeehaw. Hey, look. Somepony made me some fan art. Isn't that awesome? Thanks a lot, Heather Smoo. I appreciate it. If you have some fan art you'd like to share with me, please email it to me, hit me up on my DeviantArt page, or leave a comment below. Thanks a lot. See you later, every pony.